All right. So welcome everyone to July's community meeting. To everyone watching, to everyone not watching, not welcome. Okay. We're gonna get started. So where am I? Here. As usual in the agenda, I'm gonna have some introductions, although I'm not sure. Talk about what we just shipped, do a couple of demos. I think today we might have a demo, but also a couple of walkthroughs and updates. Talk about the current and future work, some community news, and lastly, some Q&A at the end of the meeting. So starting with the introductions, I always forget that this slide is here, but this is the OpenFGA team all over the world. And yeah, this is us. Hi. Now, introduction. So I can't see the participants right now. So if there's anyone who would like to introduce themselves or they're new, you can share your name, location, company if you want, or why you're interested in OpenFGA. I can start. And my name is Carlo. I am located in Valencia, Spain. It is very hot right now. I work for Okta, and I'm interested in OpenFGA because I'm always looking to learn more about new stuff, and I'm trying to contribute to hopefully a new SDK, DVD. And that's exactly where I am in my adoption journey. Anyone else wants to introduce themselves? I don't know if, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I think that the only external member today is Osman, that he introduced himself in the previous meeting. So I think
that's
we
what I
can
thought.
move forward.
That's what I thought. Okay, moving forward then. Just sheet. I can read this, but maybe someone from the team wants to share more, share some light. I know there's some external contributors who want to think, so
Good. Yeah, I mean, on the core OpenFGA server, I think this version is the version that you should update to if you can. And there's an experimental flag that we are using to test a faster version of ListObjects. We don't recommend you yet to enable it in production, but it will be great if you can try it in a development environment and test it and see how ListObjects improves in your scenario. And we'd love to learn how that works. And then we did a lot of small fixes that will imply also better performance and fix some stability issues we're having in the latest 1.8 versions. So I would suggest everyone to update to 1.9. Then we did some minor fixes in the Java SDK and the Python SDK, mostly bug fixes and a few improvements in the Helm chart. And then Ragged is going to actually demo some of the improvements in CLI. So instead of describing them, I'm going to wait for his demo so we can see those in actions. To be able to demo it, he needs to first release it. So we're going to give him some time and keep talking. And like in the talk shows, we need to kind of, talk more. So we can keep doing that until he ships it.
We're just gonna start speaking very slowly.
Good. Next slide. I don't know if it's already Ragged's demo.
Yep.
If not, if you're not ready to Ragged, we can have Evan share his things and then we can go back to.
Sure thing. Yeah.
Evan,
is it me?
your show.
All right. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, so no fun demos this time around. Not really anything fresh to show so much as just to talk about a lot of activity happening around the MCP server, which is Model Context Protocol, which is it's a whole new approach of connecting intelligent tooling and agentic AI to various tools to enable it to connect to sort of external services and apps. So if you're not familiar, check it out. It's extremely cool. It's very exciting. Unlocks a lot of powerful use cases. But yeah, MCP just got its, or our MCP just got its first big release in a bit, 0.2, which should be its last pre-release version before 1.0, where it goes stable. And I'm just giving a little extra time in the oven just to collect feedback and, see if anyone has any big, game-changing ideas before we make it stable. So yeah, it's been completely rewritten, new architecture, full OpenFGA API support, and supports the latest MCP spec, which just came out end of last month, actually. So yeah, check it out if you haven't yet. Really cool stuff there. There's also been a lot of activity around the PHP SDK, which is now at its 1.6 release as of this week. That it's almost too much to go over in one sitting. I'll definitely do a demo of that next time around, all the changes there. But the exciting stuff is a bunch of new helper functions, which basically just get rid of a bunch of setup and boilerplate that would, you kind of have to repeat in different places. It gets rid of that. It makes it very streamlined and simple to integrate. It's got broad internationalization support with translations. I think there's something like, I don't know, 24 languages supported now in there. Pretty cool. It's also got concurrency support for non-transactional tuple writes using PHP's new-ish fiber language feature, which is really cool. And last but not least, brand new, we have a Laravel integration. Like these other things, it's community contributed. So if you have ideas to contribute there, things you'd like to see, PRs are super welcome. If you're not familiar, Laravel is the most popular PHP development framework and supports actually not just like web applications, server side, front side, but also native applications. You can build native stuff for desktop and mobile using PHP these days, and Laravel supports that. And also CLI applications. So a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. And now we have a very deep integration offering for that for OpenFGA. So give it a check if you haven't had a chance yet. All these things are available on GitHub. It's right now they're just under actually my GitHub username just Evan Sims and then OpenFGA-MCP-PHP or -Laravel. So check them out. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
Kind of
Evan.
excited. If there is someone, I'm looking for people using PHP and OpenFGA, and so whoever is using it, please let us know. It would be very cool to understand and how are you using it and the use cases there.
And if you're using it in production, add yourself to the adopters file.
True, absolutely.
Okay, I can take over here.
Are you sharing the screen?
No,
Okay, cool.
I will share my screen. Okay, so quickly, this release is exciting, and you'll notice there's a bunch of SDK releases and CLI releases coming. So hopefully we're gonna keep that momentum. But as always, what we're mostly looking for is your feedback. Like, is this the sort of thing that's useful to you? In this case, in particular case, I would hope yes. I feel they're very useful, and thank you, Andres, for contributing, as well as community member Soul Pancakes. Mainly in this release, in the CLI release 0.7.1, there's 3 major changes, and we'll go over them quickly. First of all, we're adding JSON-L support for importing. So if you want to import or if you want to reference a file, you can now reference JSON-L. This by itself is not, sorry, JSON-L is like line separated JSON, which looks something like this, which is easy. It's nice for streaming and things like this. You will not see a lot of benefits right now from it, but we're hoping in the future we will be changing the import to be able to write these files so that you can stream your errors and stream them back and rewrite them. And also at some point for people with millions and multiple millions and billions of tuples, JSON-L will allow us to do some optimizations where we don't load the entire file into memory and we just read it and write as we are reading. So it should offer you some performance optimizations. This is the first thing, JSON-L. I'm gonna demo them all in the same demo, but this is the first thing. The second thing is thanks to Soul Pancakes for contributing, which is adding support for multiple tuple files, which means we used to have either you have the tuples in line like this, and there's user, blah, blah, blah. And then there's we used to support tuple file, which is something like this. Thanks to Soul Pancakes, now we support tuple files, which should help you if you want to distribute and segment your tuples based on use cases, based on like some tests share some tuples. You can abstract them to a single file and reference them. So which would make it easier for, and like this is more condensed for you. Notice like this supports multiple, so you can interchangeably use whatever extension we support. So JSON, JSON-L, YAML, CSV, like your tuple files can be in whatever. I don't know why you would have each one in different things, but if you wanna, we do support that. Again, this feature is thanks to Soul Pancakes. And the second feature is also thanks to Andres, and this is a fun one, for places like Czech, where before you used to have things like this. You'd have to user object and then group the relations. This is cool because it allows you to group the relations, but what if you have many users or you have the same user, many objects? And this is where this feature comes in. So instead of user and object, potentially you can choose to group your users and or group your objects. And in this case, you are checking that Peter has no access to view or write this folder and this folder, and also John has no access. So this is way more condensed than the test you would have written previously, which is basically repeating this 4 times. So I'm personally very excited for this feature. Thank you, Andres. There's not much to demo. This is the same file you've seen, just so you're gonna, oops, you're just gonna see me do test it, and yeah, it works. And you can see, like, if I change this to can view 1, you'll see the errors normally. Yeah, relation can view not found. So they are still being validated. They are being read. And so again, thank you, Andres. Thank you to Soul Pancakes. One note is these new features, whether it's tuple files or the grouping, they're not yet there in our IDEs, in our IntelliJ and in VS Code. I'm not gonna say soon because I'm not sure how soon, but we are gonna work on incorporating that change. What helps is if you find that useful, do tell us. That way we will prioritize that change. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we can go to the community news now. What we're doing, where we're going, or all sorts of things, and what's going on. So one thing I think it was Andres who shared it recently was the Linux Foundation is planning to use OpenFGA for building the V2 platform. I don't know. Do you have any more info on this one?
Yeah, so it seems what we learned is that the Linux Foundation is rebuilding their platform for everything they're doing, for all their websites and everything they have, and creating a V2 of that platform. And one of the components that they want to use in that platform is going to be OpenFGA. So it would be pretty cool to be adopted by the Linux Foundation as their for implementing authorization. And they just contribute some improvements to our Helm charts to make it simpler for them to integrate that we just merged. So it's also good to see them contributing to OpenFGA and helping make it better for everyone. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Sounded pretty exciting. I can't react if I'm sharing my screen, which is annoying, but yeah, art set everyone. All right, what else do we have here? Yes, we have KubeCon, Cloud Native Con India. When is this? The 6th and 7th of August. We talk fine-grained authorization, the missing piece in agentic AI security. It's happening. So if you are around there and you want to look at this talk, please go ahead and let us know how it goes. Then Sam's coming back and it's gonna be at All Things Open in, is this North Carolina? NC, North Carolina?
It is North Carolina.
Nice. In October. And the session's gonna be paradigm shift. I think he's gonna be talking about different access control systems out there and how he's gonna be focusing on outside as well. Interesting, cool. So that's happening. So if you're around North Carolina, feel free to go. What else do we have here? Oh yeah. I think we briefly mentioned it earlier, but we have new companies adopting OpenFGA and they're adding themselves to the adopters file. We have Verb.ai and XHR Labs. Welcome and thank you for adding yourselves. And yeah, I don't know, has anyone has any like more context on them or want to share?
No, for us, it's very important for when companies add themselves to that file. So Osman and Steven, if at some moment you end up adopting OpenFGA and using it in production, we really appreciate having your company names there, and it helps the team a lot and the project too. So thanks in advance.
Nice. All right. Lastly, I think we're about to get to the end. Support the project, please. Help us support the project and gain visibility. You can show your support to development. You can contribute to any of the many repositories that we have, OpenFGA, the main server, the SDKs, anything. And you can also start the repository on GitHub, also very helpful. And join the OpenFGA community. I think if you are watching this, if you're in this call, you are already part of the community. But if you're watching this and you're not already part of it, just feel free to follow on X, LinkedIn. And yeah, just come hang out in this call because we're a fun bunch. Yes, and again, if you're using OpenFGA in production, feel free to add yourself to the adopters file. Again, welcome to Verb.ai and XHR Labs, and thank you for adding yourself. And I think we can, yeah, right.
Just before we end, one thing we want to share that we want to improve and build on our SDKs. So now, what Okta is hiring a contractor to help us with that on that front. So if you are interested, or if you know someone who's interested, do let us know. Of course, if they have or you have experience with OpenFGA, that's a big bonus. Do reach out on Slack to any on the team and let us know.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't know if we have any questions or anything else before we close the call.
Perfect. Thank you, Carla, and everyone for attending, and Ragged and Evan for your demos and information sharing. See you guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a nice day.
Bye.